When my dad died, he left behind a failed garage, debts that had my mom picking up double shifts at the diner just to put food on the table for my little sister, and broken hearts. I hadn't been around much those last 4 years, not because I didn't care, but because I was trying to build something better for us. After I graduated high school, I decided not to go to college, not that we could even afford it, and a scholarship was out of the question with my mediocre grades, and I registered to attend a 2-year vocational program over in Evansville learning vehicle diagnostics and electrical systems. I worked nights at a parts warehouse to keep gas in my car and handle my own finances so my parents wouldn't have to worry about me. By the time I graduated, I had stretched every damn check I made hauling crates and paid for a 6-month Honda Tech program out in Louisville. Real factory certified training. It was hard, but I figured if I came back with more in my head than just basic car repair knowledge and a little elbow grease, we could pull the garage into the future. Kenny, meanwhile, had been there the whole time. He is my cousin, twice removed or something, and he started working in the shop 3 years before I even graduated high school. Dad took him in, taught him the ropes, and handed over the books when he showed better aptitude for handling the money. He trusted Kenny with the numbers so he could stay under the hood where he belonged. The shop didn't wait for me to finish at Louisville, it closed 4 months before. Dad died broken and depressed just a month after I got home. Every time I tried to talk to him, he'd wave me to silence, mumbling about a business that just couldn't keep up. Too many unpaid jobs, he'd say. Too much overhead. Couldn't even support my family. My wife working like a slave when I promised her the world. I promised her the world. When I asked about the books, he'd just shake his head and mumble, Kenny did what he could. I believed him. For a while. After the funeral, I offered to clean out the garage. Mom wanted to sell it, said it hurt too much to see it. That's when I found the ledger. It was stuffed inside a tin box under the workbench, beneath a tarp and a broken timing chain. A spiral notebook, dog-eared and stained, with page after page of Dad's handwriting. At first, it looked like routine entries, parts, jobs, customer payments. But the margins told another story. Receipts don't match deposits again. Kenny says bank made an error. Paid $3,800 cash, only $2,100 shows up on the books. Asked Kenny again, he said it's my mistake. I sat on the cold concrete floor, the truth sinking in. Kenny had been siphoning money, bleeding the shop dry while my dad kept turning wrenches and blaming himself. I found receipts and invoices going back 7 years in my dad's private filing cabinet. One thing about him was that even if he couldn't figure things out, due to his semi-literacy, he kept good records. I drove straight to the bank and demanded to see the garage's account statements for the last 7 years. My face burned with rage and sorrow when I compared the two. I drove to Kenny's place. He had a new truck in the driveway and a smug grin on his face when he opened the door. Roger, he said, didn't expect to see you. I bet. I handed him the ledger and watched him turn pale. It was all the confession I needed. 20 minutes later, I was making a report at the sheriff's office, and an hour later, I was talking with my lawyer. Before the day was up, we had gotten a court order preventing him from leaving the county, and 2 weeks later, he was arrested. He ended up cutting a deal, less time in exchange for restitution. The court made him sell his house, the new truck, and any other assets he had, and my mom got a check for $152,000. She quit the diner the same day. I reopened the shop a month later and put the old sign back up with a fresh coat of paint, Turner Motors. Now she comes by to bring lunch and sit in Dad's old chair by the window. She still cries though. It still hurts. I wish he had just waited a little bit longer to see justice done. But I'm sure he's smiling on us from heaven.